Yo, welcome. Super happy to be doing my first ever video around one of my favorite topics ever, bass. I was struggling trying to make this bass fit together. Finally found a way. Now I really just want to share the knowledge, honestly. Um, if you find any value in this, obviously like and subscribe, let me know. And let's get to it. So let me play the basses so that you have a reference point. Go ahead and turn off the processing. Cool. This is it dry. What I was trying to do, the theory behind this in particular, is I was trying to make sure the kick, which already had pretty ample bass within it in its thump, didn't clash too hard with the layered bass that I was creating. And I also wanted to use two basses because I like the feel of one of them, but I like the hear of the other. Let me show you guys what are the EQ decisions I made. First thing I did was for the feel bass. What I did was cut this frequency here because it had this weird hum that I did not appreciate. Let's play that so you can hear it. Anyways, that's all I did for that one. On top of some leveling. And then I sidechained it to the feel bass because I wanted the feel to cut the hear. And then I took it all the way to a bus. I call it all 808s and basses. And that's what I did for the feel bass. And then now let's look at the hear bass. For the hear bass, let's just listen to it plain first. I wanted it to get out of the way of the kick, obviously. I didn't want it to clash too much. You will see the finished product later, but let's walk through my processing. First thing is this EQ here. Purpose of this was to make the bass, the feel cut from the hear bass in the feel range. This is the feel range. You feel these frequencies here for the most part, and then you hear the higher ones for the most part. But I wanted the bass that's feel and the bass that's here to hold each other lovingly, basically, and fit perfectly. So I did this massive ass dynamic EQ, and I just kind of liked how it sounded. Before we move on, let me actually play you guys this here so you can hear it before and after. Did you notice some of the feel of the bass was taken out because I wanted it to be made with or to be filled with this one. Anyways, solo that. This EQ, it was lacking some low mids, but I didn't want it to be exaggerative. So I just did a 2 decibel boost at 250. If you don't know, low mids is around 200 to 500. That's the area that gets really boxy if it's too much, but if it's not enough, then it just feels like there's not body, which is crazy because as you can see here, I'm already cutting some of that range and then I'm trying to bring it back in another EQ. Bit of a silly goose thing to do, I know, but it actually worked out. And then the 2000 here, let's go over that after. So listen to the before. It just added a little bit more fullness. Anyways, 2000. Presence range is about 2000 to 4000. That's the range that the human ear is a little bit more sensitive. Human ear is about more sensitive, about 1000 to 4000. Anyways, the reason I boosted this is because I wanted to bring the bass up front a little bit more. Remember, I wanted this to be a hear bass, so I wanted to hear it better. So I emphasized the range that the human hearing was already, pretty strong in. Just adds this bit of maybe a little bit of crunch, and honestly, it just felt like it hit for me. Anyways, last bit of processing. This is my sweetheart over here. Fruity Pan-O-Matic. What it does is pretty self-explanatory, pan stuff. I took the feel bass, the hear bass, I took that a little off center. Everybody knows you put bass in the center. I didn't feel like it. So I took it a little off center just so that it can feel novel to your ear. It'll hit you on the left side, hit you on the right side. And then it was just like, oh, okay, cool. You're just letting me know you're here. You're being different. And obviously the parts of the song that are showing you some difference call out to you the most. And I just thought it was cool. So let's listen to it without. Gave me the vibe of it's in a rattling cage. And I just love that. Anyways, let's listen to it again one more time with all the processing removed, and then I'll put it back on. That's about it for the EQ part. And then super quick, we can look into this. Sidechain, everyone knows sidechain. This EQ here is for, we go over here, stereo sidechain, all 2s and 4s. This one is just to chop out the 2s and 4s. By 2s and 4s, that's language I use, but the snares and claps. Usually put the snares and the claps on the 2nd and 4th beat. Beat, 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 bar, or bar, beat, 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 bar, beat. Anyways, I just call it 2s and 4s. And then every time that comes in, it cuts precisely so that it just, I don't know, sometimes I like when things just sit perfectly and make love rather than just drastic cut. Now look at that. You don't even notice nothing. Well, you won't notice it here. There's more snare action on the other side that this will make sense for. But anyways, that's that. And then Shaperbox. Shaperbox by Cable Guys. Love this plugin. I like to perfectly shape the side chaining shape around the shape of my kick. And this is the shape of that kick. So the kick starts to, zoom out, and this starts to come back in. I don't need to sidechain everything, so I only sidechain 430 or 440 and below. And that's it. I like to MIDI sidechain, so it's always a perfect hit. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it on the processing side. I think the song should be released, if not soon, by the time you guys see this video. So I hope you can like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, tell me what you think.